Thank you very much, our honorable moderator, Ms. Suri, our Secretary General of the UCLG, Emilia Saiz, as well as Under Secretary General of the United Nations Inhabitant, Ms. Sharif, and our Minister, Vice Minister for Multilateral Affairs, Martha Tildago, and all participants present in this very wonderful engagement that has been created by the UCLG. Thank you very much for having us. We welcome the opportunity and we feel we are delighted to be part of the participants and the panelists to share our own experiences when it comes to issues of safer cities, especially in the context of COVID-19, which is confronting the world. The discussions takes place against the background, Honorable Moderator, of the Black Lives Matter movement, a worldwide campaign to protest against incidents of violence and racism directed to Black people across the globe. This campaign should serve as a clarion call to all of us to address the inequalities that still exist in our communities. It is an undeniable fact that COVID-19 pandemic has just further exposed these high levels of inequalities and presented us with an opportunity to address them with speed. As we navigate through these uncharted waters, eThekwini municipality remains committed to advance its vision of being a livable city and a caring city by 2030. The municipality, working with all sectors in our society, has developed a wide range of strategies and plans to mitigate the impact of COVID-19. Key among these strategies, which is also relevant for today's, are the following. Through this strategy, we have identified the following as key levers for change. Firstly, strengthening of local communities and building a social cohesion. Secondly, creating and implementation of inclusive and integrated spatial planning and promotion of inclusive economic growth by bringing the previously marginalized into the mainstream economy. As a city, we have embarked on initiatives focusing on creating businesses and employment opportunities for vulnerable groups, as well as drive a vibrant township and rural economy driven by social enterprises. I must also emphasize, Honorable Moderator, that we are a metro that is composed of 60% of rural areas in our municipality, with more than 590 informal settlements, which then accommodates more than 240,000 households in our city. We must also emphasize that as the city, we have embarked on these initiatives focusing on creating businesses, especially to target the vulnerable groups like youth, women, people with disability, and the military veterans. We must also emphasize that the situation calls for the new normal. Government must act deliberately to create a new, truly inclusive economy and more new jobs that are much needed. We should assess what no longer applies and what might replace it with given the new realities in our society. In the African context, we strongly believe that the new normal should place more emphasis on the support for small emerging businesses, especially those led by the youth and women. Such businesses are nimble, innovative, and quicker to adapt to the new normal and may have better business model reinvention when compared to the old exclusive big corporates. It is for this reason that as eThekwini municipality, we are proposing and we are now venturing into a social solidarity economy, which has the ability to take the best practices that exist in our present system, such as efficiency, use of technology and knowledge, and transform them to serve the welfare of the community based on the different values and the goals. Honorable Moderator, all these efforts seeks to respond to the plight of the poor. Furthermore, the city has identified two resilient building options, namely partnering with stakeholders, including business and civil society, to create an integrated human settlements. Our people must not travel long distances to access work opportunities, schools, and other social amenities. Promoting integrated planning with the traditional leadership to fast-track the development in very deep rural areas of our municipality. All these efforts seek to advance the access to opportunities for all our people while addressing issues of disaster preparedness and ensuring the safety in mainstreamed as a strategic and transversal program of the municipality. Honorable Moderator, our revised city safety strategy focuses on community involvement in safety and effective policing, in enabling community-led responses in dealing with crime and violence within our city. More importantly, this strategy is focusing on minimizing crime and ensuring that our residents live in a healthy and sustainable environment that is able to attract investment into our city. Again, COVID-19 period has demonstrated how vulnerable our communities are to various forms of crime. However, during this lockdown period, the levels of crime declined significantly, and there is certainly an opportunity to leverage on these scenarios. We must improve the environment design for better policing in our communities by building more access roads, improving street lighting, and accelerating the program of installing street lights cameras. As a city, we are engaged in a program of upgrading our own informal settlements where we put these new access roads, we maintain them, and other services to serve our communities. To deal with this gender-based violence, which increased rapidly during the lockdown, we urgently need to implement innovative measures such as the use of technology for women and children to report these crimes. But all this requires a collective responsibility from the society. Colleagues, as a port city, we are putting also measures in place to improve our port infrastructure to make it safe and competitive. These initiatives will pave a way for Durban to become a 24/7 city with greater levels of economic activity, thereby creating employment opportunities. We are also confident that the construction of a government mall in a point precinct will also accommodate various government departments and law enforcement agencies, which will further increase vigilance and reduce crime in the area and early morning detection. In relation to 2030 agenda, colleagues, we are also proud to announce that our recent council meeting, we have identified 3 sustainable development goals champions in the municipality, which will take forward the sustainable development goals learning implementation, as well as alignment and monitoring of such. One of the key deliverables of this initiative will be to develop a voluntary local review of the Sustainable Development Goals indicators, and we can assure you that safety is one of the indicators that we'll be reporting on. When it comes to learning of cities, ladies and gentlemen, our municipality
Mayor, may I ask you to wrap up in a minute, please, if you don't mind?
Yes. Our municipality has prioritized knowledge management as a strategic program to improve its capabilities and bring about innovation. Through our eThekwini Municipal Academy and Municipal Institute, we continue to deliver master classes, learning exchange, and city-to-city peer support. We'll continue through AFUS. The municipality has hosted a number of learning sessions during regional and global events, especially African Cities Summits, AfriCities, UCLG Summits, and World Urban Forum. Guided by our national government, we have been able to advance adoption of resolutions by the then UN Habitat General Council and lately UN Habitat Assembly. In partnership with UN Habitat, we are finalizing the review of our safety strategy based on the city state of the safety report. In COVID-19, there are many interventions which we have made, including to be responsive to the aspirations of businesses, our committees supplying food parcels and vouchers to respond to the issues of the distress that are confronting them. Also providing services like water and many other services which are essential to ascertain that we take care of our communities. This also assisted us to make availability of our home facilities especially organized for the homeless to accommodate them during this very difficult period. So with those words, we'll be able to respond to other questions, moderator. Thank you very much for the time.